Are you thinking about retiring in Omaha? This video is for you. We are going to go into the nuts and bolts of what it costs to live in Omaha as a retiree. We'll talk about housing costs, healthcare costs, and everything in between. My name is Morgan Putnam, and I am a local real estate expert. Let's get into it. Thank you for stopping by the Omaha Insider YouTube channel. If you could take a moment to subscribe so you are the first to hear these videos, what's going on in Omaha, that would be great. We're going to start off by talking about housing costs. This is one of the first things that people always ask about when they're thinking about retiring in Omaha is, what does it cost to buy a home? Would it be better for me to buy a single family home, a villa, a condo, a townhome, or would an apartment be the best fit for me? So let's start off by talking about apartments. So for the average 2-bedroom apartment in Omaha, it's going to be around $1,500 a month to rent, where the national average for a 2-bedroom apartment just below $1,900. So that shows that Omaha is a pretty affordable place to live especially if you're moving from the coast or a larger city. Oftentimes when retirees are talking about moving, they might own their home outright where they currently live. And so then what really matters here is just the purchase price of a home and then the property taxes. Oftentimes there's less of a focus on interest rate because they might already have plenty of cash to be able to easily make a purchase. They're still going to be on the hook for property taxes and insurance. Obviously, if you own your house outright, you don't have to pay for homeowners insurance, but I just cannot recommend enough paying for homeowners insurance, especially in a place like Nebraska where we get a lot of hailstorms. So this last month in February 2025, the average cost of a home was $323,000. Since a lot of retirees are looking for a one-story home, the average price for a one-story home is usually a little bit more expensive than the average because there's a lot of split levels and multi-levels in Omaha. And so ranches tend to be a little bit more desirable, usually in that 2 to 3% more expensive. The average tax levy in the Omaha metro, so in Douglas County and in Omaha, is 2.3%, and that will vary neighborhood to neighborhood, but it's usually pretty close to that 2.3%. There are some parts that will be a little bit lower, and then some parts that will be a little bit higher. And then if you get into Sarpy County, it's a little bit higher than that. It's around 2.38% is the tax levy, and then if you go to Bennington, which is north of Omaha, it'll be 2.8, quite a bit higher. So if you look at the suburbs where there's a lot of new construction happening, there tends to also be sanitary improvement districts in those areas, and that will make your tax levy a little bit higher because that pays for the infrastructure for that development. Now onto utilities, because obviously everybody who lives in Omaha, whether you're a renter or you're a homeowner, you're going to be paying your utilities. But the average Omaha Public Power District's OPPD, that's who provides the power for the Omaha metro area, the average bill is $115 a month. But I will say that's including all of the homes, that's including apartments. So if you live in a larger home, it's going to be quite a bit more expensive than that. Metropolitan Utility Department, which provides the water, sewer, and gas for the Omaha Metro, their monthly utilities are usually right around that $100. But again, this really depends on usage, what you keep your thermostat at, and how many people live in your home can really affect how much water you use and how much of the sewer you use. So it's good to kind of plan on around $250 a month on average for utilities, and that does not include internet. And so internet can be anywhere from around $40 a month up to, really expensive, like $100 a month or $150 a month. Some folks are opting for trying to find more affordable options. There's starting to be a lot of fiber internet options throughout the Omaha Metro. You'll see construction all the time when you're here for fiber, and it is trying to make these other companies a little bit more competitive on pricing, which is great to see. Companies like Cox and CenturyLink that have really dominated the market for years. We're starting to see a little bit of relief by having fiber options as well as different 5G options through Verizon or T-Mobile. As far as property taxes, Nebraska does offer a homestead exemption, and that is for folks who qualify for it. So you'd really need to talk to your tax accountant to see if you qualify for a homestead exemption, because it will lower your property taxes by quite a bit. It's usually on a sliding scale based on how much you make. And so that can make a huge difference on having to come up with all of the cash necessary to pay your property taxes twice a year. So it's definitely something to talk to a CPA about. As far as Medicare coverage in Nebraska, so the average monthly premium for a Medicare Plan B is $185 a month in Nebraska. Giving you an average amount, it's best to talk to an insurance professional to really figure out the exact amount that you'll owe, but that is the average price for a premium in Nebraska for Medicare Plan B. Now let's talk about transportation for your cost of living if you're retiring here in Omaha. So transportation, you really need to have a car if you can. If you are still totally comfortable driving, you want to be able to have a car because it is important to be able to get around. There are not a ton of places in the Omaha Metro that have great walkability, but we're starting to see a little bit more opportunities for folks who are older, who aren't comfortable driving anymore, to have groceries delivered to them. Nebraska is known for having really affordable gas. There are some different public services to help seniors get around to appointments and that sort of thing, but it's really difficult to rely on the bus because the bus stops are usually only along major roads, and so if you're inside a neighborhood, which most people are, it's a really long walk to get to that bus stop, and so you would either need to rely on these different services that you can take advantage of or have a car. But if you're not a huge driver, it is really affordable to be able to just put gas in your car, every couple of months. Owning a car in Nebraska in that sense is very cheap. Talking about homeowners insurance, the average cost of a homeowners insurance in Nebraska this past year was $4,100. And obviously that will really vary based on the size of your home and the quality of your home. And then also some insurers will look at your credit. And then lastly, entertainment and different things that add value to your life. There are a ton of different concert options in Omaha. There's the Joslyn Art Museum, which just got a huge remodel and it is amazing. There's the Holland Center for the Symphony and Steelhouse Omaha, which brings in different artists to perform. So there are a lot of different entertainment things that you can do, but obviously this is really just based on what you prefer to do and how you want to spend your money. There are a lot of different free options in the Omaha Metro for ways to spend your time. There are a lot of different farmers markets when the weather is nice, and then there are a lot of different ways to get involved in your community. There's different community clubs and churches and different options for you to get plugged in that are free and affordable and to enjoy living in Omaha. If this video was helpful, make sure you check out my video that is titled Downsizing in Omaha. It will go through all the different housing options in Omaha and more. My name is Morgan Putnam and I am a local real estate expert, and my phone number is 402-720-9886.